Welcome back, everybody, after a brief hiatus. It is time once again for your WWE Week in Review. This is the Raw Recap Edition. We are going to get right into the action that happened last night, August 24th. LA Knight would open up the show to an extraordinary crowd reaction. He started to address the crowd and was shortly joined by everyone's favorite, Solo Dolo Sikoa. They both got in the ring and talked about how unlikely it was that they would eventually be teaming up together to take on the Bloodline after everything they have been through the last few years. Jimmy and Jey Uso would both come out to interrupt and say that there are definitely consequences coming for Solo after he attacked the Tribal Chief last week, and they ended up setting up a tag team match for later on that night. Jimmy and Jey versus LA Knight and Solo. We then got to see our first match of the night as Stephanie Vaquer returned to in-ring action as she took on Roxanne Perez with the other women of the Judgment Day ringside. This was an exciting technical match, and when Liv and Raquel threatened to interfere, Becky Lynch came out to hold them off, which allowed Stephanie to pick up the victory. It was then time to decide a finalist in the number one contender tournament, as we had a semi-final match between Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix. And my goodness, did this match deliver on everything we thought it could be. High-flying, high-octane from beginning to end. Rey Fenix would eventually pick up the win and secure the first spot in the finals. It was then time for the contract signing between Oba Femi and Bron Breakker. They needed to sign their contract before their big match for Sunday Night Main Event in 2 weeks' time. Both superstars sat down at the table and had a brilliant promo with each other, going back and forth multiple times. Braun would eventually be the first to sign his name. He then picked up the contract and was walking it over to Oba when he stopped and stuffed the contract into Paul Heyman's chest and asked Oba if he needed his daddy to sign the contract for him. As Paul was trying to defuse the situation Braun had just created, Braun launched a quick sneak attack on Oba, and then Austin Theory ran down and joined in to help. Oba and Braun would end up throwing some heavy blows at each other until Oba cleared Braun out of the ring and then picked up and tossed Theory through the table. Oba then picked up the contract, signed it, then threw it like a frisbee at a retreating Bron Breakker. After that awesome segment, we got to see a very excited, somewhat angry Javon Evans take on Big Cass in what would finally be Big Cass's first match back after returning. This was an extremely aggressive and violent match, with Big Cass getting his first victory. After the match, JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio attacked Javon while he was defenseless. It was then time for the second semifinal match of the night between Penta and La Parka. This felt more like a AAA style lucha match, with Penta eventually getting the victory, setting up a Lucha Bros final of Penta versus Rey Fenix for next week. And in our main event match of the night, Solo Sikoa and LA Knight teaming up against Jimmy and Jey Uso in a match where neither team could really afford to take the loss. Well, neither team ended up losing because Royce Keys would show up and attack everybody with a new crew in tow. OTM, as they are known, new call-ups from NXT, joined Royce Keys to deliver a beatdown to all four men that were involved in the tag match. And that is how the show would go off the air, with Royce Keys standing in the ring after laying waste to everyone else. And that is going to conclude this edition of Raw Recap. Be sure to tune in Wednesday at 3:30 to watch me and the other guys talk more about WWE. For now, though, my name is Easy, and I'll be talking with you guys next time.